Well, good evening. I was bored. I don't want to clean my house right now. And so, I'm doing a rewatch of a game that otherwise I don't know that we would get a rewatch of. I was good at this rewatch, let's be real. I was very excited about this rewatch because it was the rewatch of last night's 3v3 me, Larry, and Taylor versus Spencer, Michael, Prue, and, of course, Joel. Of course. I was the Hindustanis. Taylor was the Celts, and Lars was the Spanish. Going into this game, Larry was convinced we were going to rickroll everyone. He was convinced of it. Know your opponent, Lars. Spencer and Michael and Joel are no pushover. So, yes, Spencer was the tokenist Dennis. Michael went the Malay. Apparently he meant to go Khmer, but I think that it wigged out. But I don't know. Of course, Prue went as the Franks, or I might start calling him Mike. Young Miguel or Michael and Mike Prue. No, went for the gun again. This computer loves to match me up with Joel. It loves it. I don't know why it loves it. But it loves to do it. When we look at forward sections, let's see, Taylor's finishing up there. Let's turn on military view. That's probably our best thing. We've got a minute left in tree. It looks like our walls are still coming. Oh, but mine and Taylor, effing computers. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm using my work computer still. I gotta buy a new one. I haven't yet. So the walls on Larry's side haven't been done yet, is what I'm seeing. It like ends like here and then just. But Taylor and I were ready to cut. I swear Larry had walls. Larry built a forward wall. We always yell at people about these forward walls, and then Larry goes and does that. Owens, no. Taylor's connecting to Larry. But it works out fine. It's fine. Taylor's here in the middle. On the other side, how are their walls looking? Their walls. Michael's finishing up his. Spencer's got the Great Wall of Japan. Oh, this computer. I'm sorry, guys. It's the best I got. And tree time is up, so I'm gonna start going. No. There. The game is a cut a Spencer walled off. Then we cut in right where he stopped. Nice. And of course, Michael is Mr. Battle Elephant. He's very excited about it. Larry kind of in. I felt like I was always just a little farther behind than I wanted to be. But Larry just says, F it, we're going to Leroy Jenkins this bad mother effer. Which I think was the right move. Going. Run right into this back section here. Oh, but Michael hasn't finished the wall. Young Miguel. Always in for a good round. So he's going to plunge in. And he actually gets into Prue and he says, we are not going to hit this guy this early. It's a very merciful play. Joel's cheating. What is this? Caustelier? I don't know what that unit does. I know that when I matched up against it with my stuff, it was pretty good. So Larry goes and gets into the trade. We see that Prue is going at it. Joel's at least been following it. Looks like Joel's all in on it, yeah. So Joel's going to go all in on that. We haven't looked here at the middle at all. So Larry's plunging again with these. I've kind of plunged over. No, I haven't. Let's see here. Red. I went this way and this way. And meanwhile, in the middle, Taylor is fighting for all that he's worth. And I think that these camels were pretty effective. For some reason in my head all game I thought that I was thinking of Spencer being the Japanese. But the Japanese don't have a lot of cannons. He was not. Okay, we're taking out castles and moving on. They have now removed Larry from the back, and we see that Prue has put in a defensive castle. That will be a theme of this game. Hopefully my computer can handle it. If not, we'll slow back down. But for now, it looks like it's handling it okay. So I'm up here, Taylor's up here, Larry's doing the chase thing. We've taken out a couple of castles. And we're just pushing them farther and farther back. Taylor is hitting Michael very hard. And it feels really good. Them walling us out was big because we couldn't get in anywhere. So I guess we're just going to fight in the front, which actually gave them time to cook and kind of prepare, especially I think Spencer. I think that this allowed Spencer to just kind of calibrate things the way he needed them calibrated. We see that we've almost got Michael gone in the middle here. This was our best chance to win this game, was right here. And Joel has showed up, that scurvy cur. Larry's got forward castles going. I'm doing a forward castle. We needed to get in, right there. I wasn't aware of that one. But Joel has shown up with all his glory. Michael's building towers everywhere he can to help defend. Taylor sending up his Woad Raiders. And another castle has fallen for Spencer. Wish I could zoom out just a little. Well, I wish I could see like double this square zone. But they never let me do it. Spencer's starting to spend big money. And Taylor's going for these. And Larry's got some trebs going. So we put a hole in, which Larry gets in. I think I got in as well. Oh, no, I don't. I just suck. But Joel is all in on his stuff. Hey, we took out that castle with a single shot. Oh, I'm so good. Larry's trying to wrangle Joel. Michael's kind of recovered at this point. They had room to back up. It would have been interesting to see what would have happened if we'd gotten them all the way to their wall. But Taylor is kind of 1v1ing with Spencer right now. Taylor Stevens, king of the micro. And not just the penis. Now I'm trying to really stay on top of these elephants as much as I can. And we see Michael has just littered this zone with bombard towers. Michael, I hate to tell you, but this sort of play is going to get you into the 7 range very quickly. Because that's 7 play right there. I don't even do that stuff. Larry sometimes does, and Taylor on occasion. But that early and that well played, Michael's playing like a 7 this game. And a hard flex. On the other side, Larry's kind of going over here. We're all kind of going a little bit of everywhere. We're all kind of probing. But now Michael's rolling with all his elefantes. And I take out 1 tower. Way to go, Tanner. Joel has shown up with his dudes. Now he's going to lose that castle. I'm going to try and get sneaky. It's not going to do anything. I remember watching that. Nothing happened. These guys kill him. Meanwhile, Joel has Flemish militia, I think is what I'm seeing here. And so this looks like, yeah, Joel Flemish militia. Joel said, I'm done with this. We need a military. Which if we were wise at that point, I would have cut over here. Boom, and in. Would have been a great time to do that. But we didn't. But that's what pushed us back, was this Flemish militia. Ugh. Spencer's defending his bombard cannons very well. He does a good job of keeping them back. Meanwhile, Michael's sending these. And I am like, you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm gonna cut. And this was the bane of my existence. Because Spencer sees it, and it takes forever to get across. I wish I could have cut here and down. That's what I would have done, but there was the wall, and I should have just cut around the wall. Tanner, you're an idiot. Either way, it is what it is. And I try to just keep on working my way around, and it was like, Tanner, this is just stupid. Meanwhile, in the middle, we see that Taylor is holding and Larry is helping, and they're kind of getting a little desperate. We see that Spencer has kind of started preparing. Oh my gosh, Spencer. Ugh. And we're cutting through. Do we get in? Do we get in? This feels like I'm going to get in really soon. Right here. Oh, no. Spencer, F you. F you, Spencer. Needs to go like right there. On the other side, we see that Michael is pushing forward inch by inch with Joel helping. Not seeing a lot of Prue, which kind of helps with our one argument. When we look at Prue's stat stuff, and he's got 35 with this is population stuff. So he's got stuff. He doesn't have gold. That's why he's not building. He's got no gold. On the other side, we get through. We get in. And Larry and I are like, hold that line. But we're getting into Spencer, who's probably the best at, like, he can handle a hit. So I'm going in. Spencer's like, we gotta cut this off. I can go over here. And we do. I should have hit these houses. Meanwhile, in the middle, holy cow, they have turtled in. Larry's here. I'm kind of here. Taylor's rebuilding. But we are in on the other side. Spencer's building castles. I'm in the trade. I'm over here. Just kind of hitting Spencer every which way that we can. Has he got anything in there? He's got 2 of them in there. Thought he might have. Should have hit like right there. Larry has built forward castles. Spencer's starting to send trash. This is kind of where he's feeding from. And Joel has turned as well. In the middle, Joel is still here. They're hitting Larry's buildings, but Taylor's our major holder over here. So go right ahead, boys. And we've got dudes in the trade. But Spencer walls us off. We see that Spencer's hard countering what me and Larry are throwing. Meanwhile, I'm not getting anywhere over here. Just like in the middle. Taylor is killing anything and everything he can. Larry's helping. I'm helping. We're kind of like, okay, I guess we're looking at the middle. And here's a horde's gonna come right now. On the other side, they've kind of pushed people back, but we have this death zone here. And it looks like Taylor's doing all right taking it out. Fighting with trash, doing an all right job. Hit their trade a little bit, but not enough to really end it yet. This is just a giant hole at this point. On the other side, Larry is preparing for another cut. Taylor's going up. Halberdier away, my good sir. Meanwhile, Larry has started the cut. So we're on to cut number 3 on a 4v3. Taylor's sending out long swordsman. Have something to do with wood. No, Taylor's got. Oh, yeah, it is wood. Because Taylor's got a mountain of food. At one point in the game, Taylor did say, "Does anyone need food?" He wasn't joking. We're still fighting this plugged hole, and Larry is going. Spencer is building onagers. Larry's sending troops. I'm trying to fight over here is really where my eyes are. Meanwhile, on the other side, Larry's taking out the castle. Kind of got paused. They just saw it. In the middle, Joel and Michael are rolling. On the other side, Larry has bombard cannons that are just having way too much fun. And I have won on this side now. There's a hole, so I'm like, let's freaking go. Of course, Prue's over there. We should have taken these dudes, and he's lined everything. We should have hit this. So we need to get those over there. In the middle, the fight continues. We see Joel and Michael, and everything's just kind of getting crazy at this point. But Joel's over here. Spencer's starting to come at me. And Taylor's like, guys, it's getting bad. So we turn to kind of stem the bleeding. But Larry's gotten in. Boom, boom, boom. We see that Spencer's trying to hold it off again. But Larry's in like Flynn. And he's just going to take out trade as much as he can. Meanwhile, in the middle, they are just all over Taylor. It's starting to look dire. I've given up on the side over here to come and save the middle. Meanwhile, Larry is eating their trade. Absolutely eating their trade. In a very serious way. Joel's down to 28 trade. How did we not win at this point? This is when the game should have flopped. Larry's ready to go. Joel's sending things, and we've kind of stemmed the bleeding. See that Taylor's building from back here now. And Larry's back in. Taylor deserves such a slow clap because he's 2v1ing Joel and Michael the whole game. Meanwhile, Spencer, I forgot to mention, Spencer has come down this slot and gotten into me over here and Larry, but we get that out fairly quickly. That's not that it wasn't too big of a deal. Mostly Spencer plays defense the whole game. But they have just packed this area with defense. Now we're trying to get back in again. Over here, we've pushed them back again. Allowing Taylor. Is Taylor rebuilding? Taylor's so good at that. But they're all coming. And Larry cuts around and is back in. I think he's going to just take this out at this point, which I think is the right move. And he's back in their trade. They've now V'd differently. They're starting to V this way as well. See, Joel's back to defense. And Joel's got 37, but he's got another 28 build. So he's recovering. And we've kind of pushed them back. Spencer's walled off again, because that's what Spencer does. should have walled this off just to make Spencer not able to just send troops that way. Taylor's like, I'm gonna take care of this for you, Tanner. He was very nice. Meanwhile, we're fighting in the middle. Spencer's back in the middle. We're just eating everything Michael's throwing at us. This just onslaught of the amount of elephants that he's throwing is ridiculous. But Taylor gets us in again. And Larry's pumping that back. Wish that was a castle. Mike is like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And I kind of changed my strategy. I keep troops coming over here more, but my stream is I start sending hussars over here just because I'm sending. It was just so expensive. I was like, I'd rather just keep a constant pressure of cheap units. So that's kind of what I was trying to do over there. Meanwhile, Larry is once again in them. Hitting trade again. But Joel and Mike are coming up this. In the middle, we see that Michael is building again, doing it again. And the fight continues. Taylor sent in his paladins. And we're all just praying to stop because this is looking desperate. On the other side, Joel has decided to turn? Like, comes in and then turns around? I don't get it. Whatever. On the other side, Larry and Spencer are still fighting. In the middle, Michael has kind of got a point right here. Right here, actually. And the death continues. Oh, this makes me want to upgrade Michael really badly. So we're getting in, and I was like, I'm going to hit Michael. We've hit their trade a bunch. Their trade isn't dying. Let's hit Michael. So that's kind of my goal here. Which Michael was not hurting for food. He had 203 villagers. Oh, that really did nothing. Great. Taylor's trying to get these walls down. We've just hit Spencer so hard. Larry's doing it again. And he's in again. Running through the death zone as fast as he can. There's no trade over here anymore. They're all trading. Yeah, they're all going this way now. But we didn't know that at the time. Larry's going. Spencer's everywhere. Oh. Joel's had enough. Joel cuts. Joel gets in. Joel sweeps me. Joel does what Joel always does, which is destroys Tanner. Oh. Joel had had enough of this game. And so Joel is, so you can see they've cut off my trade. They lived long enough to find our weak point. In a game with 3 players, there were 4 holes. The 3v4. And that is the Caravanserai. No. So this is the game. Because Joel just sweeps us and I was out of gold. And Joel, and Taylor gives up the ghost. Larry gives up the ghost. And I give up the ghost. Great game, guys. It was really well played, both teams. I felt like it was an even game. Everyone played well. This cut, I missed it again. And I told myself over and over again that I need to, hey, Michael's playing AoE right now. But I've told myself over and over again that this was the hole you needed to watch for, and I still, even with a heads up, missed it. Look at some stats. Larry with 52, Michael with 75,000, Spencer with 73,000. They were just on top of it. When we look at the KDs, yeah, no one's really popping to me. It is worth noting that Spencer lost 73 buildings, which was the most, and yet his team still won. It's a sign of resiliency, although I think most of those buildings were wall sections. When we look at economies, Larry with the most gold and the most sent and received probably. We were trading a bunch, and they were trading not at all. Michael with the most food, Taylor with the most wood. The stone, of course, was Spencer, and man, I had the most trade by like almost by 600, less than 600, by 500 gold. Woo! That, well, by trade, I should say, because Larry had the most gold. Larry always pays his debts. For our Imperial Ages, or Michael had the fastest feudal and the fastest castle of sub 16. That's true. Michael, I'm upgrading you to a 6. You're getting upgraded today. When you ask why, you're in elite castle time. You're playing at an elite rank. You're getting upgraded. Don't whine about it. And there we go. Spencer built 14 castles. Larry built 9. I built 4 and Taylor built 3. Joel built 7. Way to go, Prue, with your 7 castles. When we look at all of this, it swung their way at the very end, but for most of the game, it was very close. GG, guys. Can't wait for our next one. We out.